Hi there YouTube, welcome back to another black powder update and the continuation of my revisit to Third Corps project. Now strangely before you we have the 1st and 2nd Battalions of the 23rd. Now obviously only one of these is new, but when I retrieved the original 23rd 1st Battalion from where they are in the living room, I immediately remembered that this was one of my most annoying units. I think it was like the 2nd unit of French that I did. I used those old style, well not old style, but basically the Warlord plastic bases that came in the Waterloo starter set, which at the time when I used them I thought, yeah, these are cool. However, once I'd got a little bit more experienced and started to get in my MDF bases, I instantly took a hate to those Warlord bases, and because they were plastic to plastic glued down, they weren't shifting. So I'd more or less finished my which was my new batch of figures by that time. So I thought, you know what, I'm basically I'll hold off basing them, and I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to completely rebase, tidy up and swap some figures around, and I think what I'll do is I'll make my new batch of figures into the 1st Battalion and my old batch of figures into the 2nd Battalion. So alas, you have this 2 units on the table rather than just the one, which would have originally been the 2nd Battalion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically run you through them. I'll show you the 2nd Battalion first, because they're made up of the older figures, apart from a few swaps on the command base. I also turned their original brigade commander into a mounted colonel for the unit, so we'll go across, have a little look at him a little bit later too. Yeah, so we'll start off with looking at the 2nd Battalion here. Just a quick run through, just to sort of show you what I basically did to them. Like I say, I tidied them up. I spent a long time cutting them off their bases. It was an absolute nightmare. I hope that I don't have to, that none of my other units will annoy me enough that make me decide to have to do that again. Although on the plus side, I don't think there's any more Warlord plastic bases used on the infantry from the remaining 2 divisions. So let's get going, because I'm trying to cut this video down. The original one was 21 minutes, so let's see how short we can make it. So here we have the 2nd Battalion's Grenadiers. You can see they have a Pioneer. Now he was one of the figures that was incorrectly placed. Really used to annoy me. He was actually on the drummer's stand, which really annoyed me. So I'm glad that he's in the place where I like to stick Grenadiers. Sappers, sorry, which is on the Grenadier section base. Now the reason I originally started doing this was to actually save a Grenadier figure. Because most of the, normally when you buy a command pack you get a sapper in it. And it was a good way of saving a Grenadier figure, because sometimes, by saving just one Grenadier figure, you can actually make another company of Grenadiers up and scrape together another battalion from leftover other boxes, which is something that I definitely like to do. So that is the 1st, or the Grenadier Company, and obviously they've got the Mirage Blue great coats, these chaps. Basically for tidying up, I basically went in and gave them a general tidy up. Their great coats were fine, but I tidied up some of the strapping. I filled in mist strapping, and I went in and repainted all of their backpacks from the really old style of sort of like a red leather with the white leather sort of facing all around the backpack, to the more modern, cost-saving, just slap, just make it out of one material, and keep everything the same colour, and just use the leather strapping in white for the tie-ups of the backpack. So that is the Grenadiers. Then we have the 4th Company. Again, we've got a couple of mixed greatcoats in this bunch here. Bog standard Warlord guys, of course. We're literally going to give a quick view. So here we have the Voltigeur. Again, just basically just rebased, backpacks painted up and just generally tidied up. I think they definitely look a lot better than they did. I don't think, you know, I couldn't say that they're perfect, but it's you know, I do like to have the little bit of nostalgia look to them because they are an older unit. So here we have the drummer stand. Now, something that really bugged me was I had the drum in the wrong colour. I had red around the tops rather than blue, so I went in and tidied that up. Again, some missed straps and stuff, and a repaint of the backpacks for these chaps. So again, I think they turned out a lot better than they looked previously. Then we'll go for the NCO stand. So here we have another incorrectly placed figure that was put correctly onto the NCO stand. This is the Warlord NCO, I believe, that comes with, if you buy the command blister rather than the 4 figures that you normally get in a box set. Yeah, okay figure, nothing special, and I hate the way that he's got epaulets. NCOs generally didn't have epaulets, but you know, I don't particularly feel like painting up a new figure, so I just went with it. I painted them white in the end, which is something that I tend to do if there's an epauletted figure out of position. And of course just 3 other bog standard Warlord guys. And these guys, same sort of thing, just a little bit of tidying up and the white strapping on their backpacks, covered over with the new colour that I use. So now, lastly, onto the command stand. Now, out of the 4 figures here, 2 are original and 2 are swaps. So we have the flag bearer here. It's obviously a Warlord flag bearer. He has the 2nd Battalion Fanion, which of course is from Flags of War, with their custom writing. So you can see there, 23rd Regiment de Ligne, 2nd Battalion, or Ligne. We have a Perry's Metal NCO. Now these 2 chaps, like I say, were from my newly painted unit, and I swapped them over. Mainly because I'd already stuck the flagpole into this guy's hand at this particular point, so I just said, well, you know, instead of just pulling the flagpole out of his hand again, I might as well just swap them over. So these guys have got my new flag bearer and one of my new NCOs, and they were swapped over for the original flag bearer and an Eagle Protector. Figures wise, the secondary officer is a Warlord as well. This is obviously a metal Perry's NCO from the NCO box, and this the chef de battalion here, I believe he is a Perry's metal officer from their officer box that you can buy separately for Perry's metals. So that's the command base. So that is the 2nd Battalion out of the way. So obviously the 2nd Battalion, which were originally my 1st Battalion. So next up we'll go for the 1st, and then finally we'll finish off with the Colonel. So like I say, all these guys are practically all freshly painted. So here we have the NCO, not the NCO, sorry, the Grenadiers Company, or Grenadier Company. Just my usual sort of paint scheme for the French. Khaki greatcoat and the all one colour backpack. Then we have the 4th Company. Look, I won't spend too long on these more normal Warlord guys. The Voltigeur. the drummer's base, again a Warlord drummer creeping in. The NCO stand. Now these chaps are a little bit different in the fact that they haven't got greatcoats on. Now the reason for that was because I'd run out of great-coated sergeants basically. So I have this chap here. He's a metal sergeant from the Perry's Metals NCO box. And rather than just having him on his own and everyone else in greatcoats, I decided to just make the whole company not wearing their greatcoats. So I brought in 3 Perry's from one of my 1815 box sets so that they will match. I think it turned out pretty cool actually. And then finally the command stand. Now again we have, like I say, said on my when I was doing the 2nd Battalion, we have a 2 figures swapped over. So here we have the flag bearer, who is actually now carrying a updated eagle and pole. Before they used to have one of those horrid crappy Warlord thin spear things that are terrible, and I swapped over for a steel pole and a front rank eagle. Luckily I was able to save the flag. I managed to get it loose on the pole and slide it off, so I could basically just slide it onto the new pole and stick it. And obviously this is a GMB flag. Now, command figure wise, we have the eagle bearer there. Obviously this chap was from my original battalion as well. And again, I just went in, tidied them up, and repainted the guy's backpack. Now, new command figures, we have another of those Warlord junior officers here with his arm slightly bent into a new position. And we have this chap here, the Chef Battalion, is actually normally a light infantry officer from the Warlord command packs, and I decided to make him a regular line infantry officer. So he is the rather posh Chef Battalion of this first battalion of the 23rd. And I think he came out really cool actually. I really like him. So that is the 1st Battalion of the 23rd, which of course should originally have been the 2nd Battalion. But I really like the way that this whole little side thing turned out. I'm really happy with the guys now. I mean, they may not be perfect, but they're certainly a lot better than they used to be. The Colonel, obviously, originally he was on a cavalry base on his own. I took him off, put him onto a normal cavalry base, which I tend to do when I have mounted colonels now. And he is a separate figure now, separate colonel. I'll give you the blurb. So this chap is Colonel Jean-Charles Brice of the 23rd Regiment of Ligne, 1st Brigade, 8th Division, 3rd Corps. And I think I did a little bit of tidying up on this guy. I basically redid his blue and also tidied up his saddle. But other than that, he was pretty much okay. And I obviously gave him a new base. What I did was I put some Das clay down over the around the horse. I think it came out pretty cool actually. It's just a simple base, but it turned out looking really nice. And of course, it fits in well with his regiment. So that is that. That is the end of this particular part of the project. Obviously, this video is up a little bit later than what I would have wanted. I've actually filmed this video 3 times. There's lots of things I didn't like about them. One of them being the very first version of it was very, very long. And there was a lot of blurb in it that wasn't really necessary. So yeah, you can expect my new unit, which will be the 3rd Battalion, up probably sometime late in the weekend, next weekend, or possibly the Monday or Tuesday, just for getting it up, rather than I'm pretty sure I'll probably finish the battalion by the end of the week. or at least by the end of the weekend anyway. And it just depends on when I've actually got the will to get up there and upload it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you pretty soon on the next chapter of this continuation of Third Corps project. So until then, catch you all later. Bye bye.